Hello, welcome to this week's vlog, which sees me back in the woodlands. It's the start of October. It's time for autumn to start arriving, which I absolutely love. Love a bit of woodland photography. Really looking forward to the trees turning a beautiful colour. And we've had a cracking summer for a cracking autumn, if that makes sense. So a nice dry summer, which has allowed the trees to gather a load of sugars in their leaves, and then a cool night, hopefully no winds to blow the leaves off. But as these guys start to turn colour or start to die off, they're going to go a very bright colour. So I'm really looking forward to autumn this year, doing some different kind of photography. And to make the most of that, I'm actually going up to the Lake District next week to have a little look around there, and then down to meet somebody at the Forest of Dean. And I won't say who that is, but I'm sure you'll know them. But that's for the future. So I've also been playing around with a large format film camera. In fact, to be more accurate, two. So I was lent a lovely Sinar monorail and a Linhof Technica, and I've loaded some FB4 Ilford film, which is black and white, 125 ISO, my favourite film from back in the day, and I've been really enjoying doing that. But I've got a bit of a gap because I filmed some of that footage, but the film takes a couple of weeks to be developed and scanned, and I need a video. So while the leaves are starting to change, and you can see maybe behind me one or two of these beeches just starting to go, I think it's going to need another couple of weeks. But this is a brilliant time for doing macro work. So I brought out with me Albert, and I bought Albert because, as you can see, I can reverse the head on Albert to get low down. I'll talk more about that as we go along, and also a bag of goodies which I'll show you in a moment. And around here on my sling I've got the OM1 ready to roll with the macro lens on, and looking forward to shooting this. I've got some lights and bits, so I'm going to try and find some fungi, some mushrooms, not just any old fungi mushrooms, but some that look really nice. So I'm in a lovely wood local to me, and actually the wood that's really close to me doesn't really work for mushrooms. There are loads there, don't get me wrong, but the understory is covered in brambles and ferns and bracken, which means it's really hard to find. This wood though, which is about a 10-minute drive, as you can see, is just full of leaf litter, which is great. There are also some broken trees or some dead branches, and sometimes I think this is managed by the Forestry Commission, so they cut these things down, leave them for the insects and for the fungi, which is great for me. I've had a quick scout round, there are a few coming out, so we're going to shoot this, and this is going to be so much fun. Really enjoying shooting on my own, love being out in the woods, as you know, so this is going to be kind of a bit of therapy for me. I've been really busy and I've been photographing a lot with other people, so to do something on my own, it's just what the doctor ordered. So let me find somewhere to sit down and I'll show you the equipment that I brought with me. There's not much of it, which is a lovely bonus really, but once I've done that, I'll find some fungi, some mushrooms, and we'll try and make some images. It's just lovely in here, absolutely beautiful. I'm already enjoying this so much. It's just so lovely to be out here. Just a slight noise from the cars, which is about half a mile that way. You can just about hear them. Other than that, it's just me and the birds and the trees. What a fantastic day. Let me just show you the gear I've got with me quickly. I've got all the stuff I need in this bag, and I got this bag from a website called 7 Day Shop, and it must have been at least 20 years ago, but you can never have too many bags. It's been sat under my desk, and I'm kind of going to make it into my macro bag, so let's open it up and have a look at it in a second. As I said earlier, I've got the OM1 and Albert, and obviously with Albert it's brilliant that I can put the tripod this way around, because when I'm photographing mushrooms they're going to be low down, which means I can just adjust this head like this. I'll put the camera will be upside down, but that's okay, and I can just reverse it when we get into Lightroom. So Albert's got an outing. If it's higher, I can obviously just flick this round and reverse it quite quickly, and I can make these legs higher or lower. So that's a perfect tripod. Before, what I've done is I've used a bean bag, and it kind of never quite works, but it's not too bad. But this is definitely, I think, a better solution. Right, let's open my bag and I'll show you what I've got in here. Okay, so what have we got in here? Talk about that in a second. Just going to put it down there for a minute. So what we've got at the moment is I have brought with me just the 12 to 45 Zuko lens. This is the Olympus lens, just in case I see any landscapes I fancy, or maybe even some woodland photography, so I can use that if I need to. But that's probably going to stay in the bag. More importantly are these three things. Got this and this to show you. This one is probably the best one, or the one I want to show you the most. This is called a Lume Cube, and if I hold that down, that turns that on, and there is an adjustment here, so I can make it less bright if I want to, or brighter. Okay, and that is just going to be used. Imagine my hand is the mushrooms. Let's bring my hand into focus so you can see it. Oops, that way. And you can just see that that's used as a light, and if that's too bright you can either move it further away or turn it down a little bit. But Lume Cubes are really nice. They're handy because they can just lean against logs like this, but also I've got this tripod which I can connect underneath like so. And in a similar kind of vein, we have this. This was just another cheap light, which just turns on like this, and there's the light, and you can see I can make that brighter or less bright. But what's good about this one is I can also change the color temperature. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see this very well, but that's kind of a really blue light, and then we go to that, which is much more of an orange light, so that's more tungsten, probably somewhere around 4000 Kelvin, and that is probably somewhere around 7000 Kelvin. Daylight's going to be somewhere in the middle. Again, it's got a little bracket on the bottom here, so I can screw the tripod onto it like so. So that's going to be really useful. Turn that off to save the batteries. I have also got my Godox V1, which is a flash gun, but it won't sync very well with the OM1. So what I'm going to use this for, I just thought I'd bring it along, because what this has got, as you can see, I've got a modelling light which I can make brighter or not, depending on what I'm doing. We go that way, and I can, there we go, I can then make that bright or less bright, and that's also going to be used as a fill-in light. So not a flash gun, just a fill-in if I need it, maybe a bit of a sun behind, that kind of works. So that's with me. And the final thing, actually there's a pair of scissors which I can't find at the moment in the back, but I've also got these. I know some of you don't like these, I would like the idea of this, but these are cards which will work as backgrounds. So if I find a nice mushroom, I can put this to the back to make it out of focus, which brings me nicely onto this. This is designed really, I think, for welders or for little model toy people who like to hold things. So it basically gives you an extra pair of hands. And what I can do with this is I can bend this into shape, all sorts of different places. I've got 4 of them, and I really got this for insect photography, because I could put the insect on the branch on here. But these other bits are based on, it's hard to do this one-handed, is designed to hold a bit of card. So that holds the card, and then you can have the mushroom this way, or I could actually have an insect on here or a branch on there. If there's a little twig, that would work on that one there. Imagine that kind of going on. That's the idea, or actually if it's easier if you see it like that, that's kind of how it works. But there we go, so different coloured cards. This is really handy. It's like having an extra pair of hands, which is fantastic. So that's just tucked in there. Made of, this is, by the way, is metal. Actually it needs screwing up a little bit. I need to get the old screwdriver back on it. But this is made of metal, so it sits really strongly and will hold things that are quite heavy in these little crocodile clips here, which are a great idea, I think. Look at that, brilliant. So I brought that with me as well. It probably won't be used, but I've got it just in case I need it. There we go.
Easy come and easy go. You're an unfading star, a gentle love, the kind that lifts you up, no matter how far apart.
Right, so I found this guy. He looks really nice. I mean, he's not particularly nice mushroom or fungi, don't tell him I said that, but I think he's going to look really nice in this little setting here. It's kind of like this little triangle of branches, so a bit of light from here or from here, it's going to look really good. I've just put the OM1 on Albert. Albert has obviously got the centre column the wrong way around, but that's absolutely fine, because what I can do with this is I can pull the screen that way so I can see it, and most of the stuff on this camera I can use off this button here once I've turned it on. And I'm going to have a little look at this. Probably going to need a focus stack, which I'm going to put together because it's quite a big mushroom. But first thing I'm going to do is sort out the lighting.
You could call it chance, but we know it's more than that. It's like we've
Okay, right. I told you about this being up and down as far as brightness is concerned, but actually it's colour temperature, which I did wonder. So as you adjust this, the colour temperature changes. So I've got it on about 5,000 Kelvin, and this mushroom, it's actually not too bad, but it looks so much better lit up. I'm going to focus stack this starting at the very front. So I've focused on the very front gills of this, and we're just going to let the camera do the focus stacking to the back, and I'll put it together. As you can see, the V1 is perched on this branch here, just adding a little bit of light. Now in portraiture, which I used to do a lot of, it was about a 45-degree for your main light and then a side light just to fill in. So that's what I'm doing. This is a classic portraiture kind of lighting setup, but on a miniature scale. Right, let's focus stack this. Focus on the front, and away we go. F8, a tenth of a second, and it's going to do several pictures for me. Right, here it comes now.
It's set in stone, unbreakable. It's like I've always dreamed. True harmony, unmistakable, unmistakable.
Oh, this little stump would be absolutely perfect. Imagine a little fungi sat there, beautiful moss. But as hard as I'm looking, and I'm looking a lot, there's nothing on here, which is a shame, because that would be just perfect. It's the right height, there's nothing stuck in here anywhere, but the background looks beautiful. Bit of light on that will look lovely. Let's continue, there might be something else.
Through each night we'll keep burning bright.
So I've been really struggling to find things, to be honest. I think there's two things happening. Well, I think one thing, but two creatures. I think there's been lots of foraging going on. It's either the deer or the muntjacs in here, or, and in fact, I heard some humans and saw them with a bag. So I'm wondering whether there's some foraging going on, which is great because these things grow really quickly. Got this little composition, might work. Not sure, it's interesting, it's a bit different. So I'll get the camera out, set this up, and let's have a look at this. Right, okay, I think we're ready to go with this. I've just put the Lume Cube just down here, just to throw a little bit of light. I'm going to need to put my hand under it, I think, for this. I'm just throwing some light underneath the gills. I'm just going to look in the camera. That's fine. Focused on the closest point, and away we go. Focus stack done.
By you, and come the storms weather, short or long, will I still be right where you are? I guess you could call it chance, but we know it's more than that. It's like
This is so difficult.
it's like I've always dreamed true harmony.
Right, I found another little group, and I'm just adjusting this leaf, because this leaf is going to be in the foreground, out of focus, just to add a little bit of depth to the picture. So I'm just putting it in position in front of the lens there. That kind of looks good. And the top of this mushroom has been eaten, and the side of it, whoops, there we go. So that's focus stack that. And I'm going to call this dinner. It looks like a little mouse has had it. Which is really nice. There's some other small ones the other side, so I might just photograph them as well. That's quite nice, a little focus stack. Right, I think this is the last image of the day. I've got a little group of 3, maybe 4 fungi, and behind them is a bark, and then the other side are the fungi that I was photographing a minute ago, and they look quite nice as a background. They're going to be out of focus. Now this is going to be focus stacked, but that doesn't mean I have to use them all. I may just decide to use just some of these when I'm focusing. So actually this is focus stacking, and I'm going to focus bracket as well, because focus stacking will give me an actual picture, and I won't be able, I don't know if I get the rules as well, I might do. So that's going to give me loads, and that's actually got these close fungi in and the ones in the background, so I've got a little selection to choose from there. Right, let's put this away and I'll just say goodbye. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I have. It's lovely to get back out in the woodland, fantastic. Just beginning to turn, things are changing, and woodland photography is one of my favourite genres, as you may know if you've watched the channel. Enjoy doing macros today. I think I've got the setup a lot better. It's one of the genres that I'm not so confident with, but I'm certainly learning stuff, and I'm certainly bending myself in, and the pictures today were quite good, I think. The only thing I found difficult today was finding subjects, and that may be because A, there aren't any because it's too early in the season, B, because I'm not looking very well, I'm not very experienced in that, or C, maybe there were some but they've been eaten by either foragers or animals or something like that. But hard to see any, didn't come across many today. I think this is the right woodland as well, because there's lots around here, but nevertheless a great day out. I really love being out in the woods, and I hope you've enjoyed it too. Next week, 1 or 2 places. I'll either be in the Lake District with the Z8 photographing some woodland, and I'm really looking forward to that as the leaves turn their colour, or I'll be somewhere like Southwold or on the coast with a Sinar or a Linol 5x4 film camera, which is something that I've borrowed, and I'm looking forward to showing you those. I've already filmed the footage for the video, I just haven't got the images back, so I want to make sure that the images are fine before I put the video out, and so that may well be afterwards, but that's what's coming up anyway. Lake District trip, Sinar trip, Linhof trip. Lots to come on the channel, so if you haven't subscribed, think about doing so, and then just click the bell and you'll be told when the next video is up. Although, spoiler alert, they're always going to be 6 PM on a Sunday. But anyway, thanks for watching this one. Take care of yourselves. Hope your photography's going well. See you soon. Ta-ra for now. Ta-ra.